what goes down in this game. I got a feeling that this one's gonna go a lot longer than last game.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game based on like I said, like they're wild card players. I've never played against any of these guys or with them, so I'm curious to see what they're gonna bring out to the table. We might see new picks, like you said. We might see the same picks but played with different playstyles. They might take different abilities or different weapon augments or different utility spells, make different calls and decision making, roam as a team, or just split push all game. So it'll be nice to see what they do and to see how they adapt to different situations.
Absolutely. Well, we are ready. We got all the players in the match here. I'm gonna go ahead and click dispatch now. Throw us over to pick and ban. Charging right in. First comes out that Vita. So it looks like they might stay away from Tulum this game. And just as I say that, over on Wandering Potato side, they do wind up dropping Tulum. Or excuse me, Seraphim side. So Tulum and Vita coming out from Seraphim's team. And we're still waiting on the final decision of the final ban to be made as the players greet each other in the chat. Very friendly. It's very good to see. So
I want a clean fight, he says. No hits below the belt. Like it.
I'd be hitting below the belt if I knew $2,500 was up to grab.
Oh, most definitely.
So it's going to be a mirror ban. Again, just as last game, except this game is going to be Vita and Tulum on both sides. Understandable. Already seeing these amazing picks, or these unusual picks coming out. We got a Death Knight and a Maya coming out on the side of Wandering Potatoes here. That Death Knight is going to be crazy. I love seeing a Death Knight that has even the littlest idea of what he's doing. Because 1v1, the guy's not going to die. 2v1, the guy's probably not going to die. 3v1, depending on, how far ahead, how well you're doing in the game, what, attributes, or what attributes you're going against attunements, or what attributes you're running, excuse me. But for the most part, that Death Knight, crazy front line, which I love to mess with.
It's actually interesting. I'm really glad to see Maya getting picked up in the tournament right now. I feel like she's a little underappreciated. She may not be the best, but I still have a blast playing her and feel like she does have a spot in certain teams. So definitely. I'm glad to see that. I want to see the Death Knight. I want to see how he does, and maybe I'll pick him up if I see that he's like he's really viable and he's really good. Maybe I'll start playing him. But it's odd to see him paired with Vonak though. It's different.
Well, it offers the best of both worlds. You've got a great PvE master and a great skirmisher. And he has heals, so he's going to be in it to win it. Nothing too crazy coming out else from either team here. Looking at the utility spells right before we jump into game. We've got 2 Titan Shields once again on each team. 2 heals on the side of Wandering Potatoes. 2 heals on the side of Seraphim. And then both teams rocking the handy dandy ward. No teleports this game. But honestly, in my personal opinion, in coordinated play, I don't see much of a use for teleport on such a relatively small map. I mean, as long as the eyes are open and you're checking the minimap at least every minute or so, you're gonna be able to get where you need to be in a reasonable amount of time. Teleport usually not the deciding factor. At least I haven't come across many situations where teleport was the significant reason a skirmish went in the fight, or you're able to grab an objective before somebody else from the enemy team was able to catch up.
Well, the thing about that, Devil, is right. I know what you're saying and I understand it, but let's bring it to play from last game, Team C, right? Let's say they did have a ward on their team. They didn't have this 3rd Titan Shield. If they had a ward in the Rosark pit, whoever had the teleport on their team could have actually teleported in instead of walking in, and maybe had the chance to steal the Rosark and secure it for their team. Teleport can be used in team play. It's just how effective you are and the timing of your teleports is what makes it truly shine. So I've seen people teleport, drop a ward on my team before in Rosark Pit, leave for like 10 minutes, and then have somebody just teleport into there and solo it without anybody knowing, because you can't see inside the pit unless you have it warded.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's not wrong at all. I mean, to count the ability out, just knowing that these heals over teleport's going to allow people to, or make these fights, possibly prolong them and make them a little more spicy than usual, you know. But we'll see nevertheless. Looks like we've got even splits on both teams. 3 possibly heading up the top side. This might be a repeat of last game, looking for an early first blood over on the side of Seraphim. They are going to be able to grab this River King, possibly here. No, looks like he's going to back up. Tux Ranger is going to wind up grabbing that River King. Means he's going to have some ult gauge power, working well on his way towards that tornado. Meanwhile, down bottom here, there's a couple of friendly little hellos in the form of bullets from both teams here before the minion wave clashes in the middle.
Vonak's going to be taking their blue buff, the Wandering Potatoes' blue buff, and the Suzuka, no, not Suzuka. The red team gave their red buff to...
I want to say Suzuka
actually,
right.
Yeah. They did it, and they're giving in both buffs to Suzuka, which is going to make her a lot more durable in team fights with the tag cooldown and regeneration, which is actually really scary with Erina as a partner as well.
Something also that's really scary is this little skirmish that's going on down in the bot lane. Red team having something to say about this blue buff here. Forced to pop heal over on the side of Wandering Potatoes. XCal might be in trouble here. Has a Lua, does have a swap up though. Shouldn't be too much trouble. They're just back and forth, going left, right, and center. Ult's being dropped. Altelier here, dropping pretty low. Got that swap on the Erina. Forcing Light out. Barely getting out with a sliver of health. Chosen won the same. That was a really broken up fight.
And I believe Atelier actually managed to steal the red buff from them as well.
Is that so? It's a little hard to see them buffs on him.
Yes, his red buff is fresh right now. It's just off cooldown.
Good news for red team as well is they're gonna send blue back to base since they were so low. So this is gonna secure them the first Titan monolith of the game, which is also gonna secure them the first Titan charter of the game. Meanwhile, up in the top here, a little bit going on here. Swaps coming out, Def going in, getting a little bit of low. Bullet rain comes down from Malachi. But in the end, once again, everybody gets away, just with a couple of flesh runes. Speaking about that, wound up missing the 1v1 that went down towards the mid lane. First blood going over to Wandering
Potatoes. Chosen one.
Yeah.
On the Maya. Alright, Maya actually killed the Suzuka. Interesting.
Down by the Fallen Hero altar. They've already popped the 2 altar guardians, so now it's up for grabs. It's a 2v2 situation here. XCal and Jun Shiomi a little low on resources though. Jun Shiomi, no mana whatsoever. Top side Fallen Hero going over to the side of Wandering Potatoes. As I say that, bottom side, once again, there's so many of these little skirmishes that are going on, but very rarely are we seeing any kills.
I think both teams are just trying to minimize their deaths in this game right now. I think they're trying to fight as little as possible and make sure they die even less. It's not a bad tactic, and it was very smart. It was very smart for Painpuff to just be like, you know what, I can't be here, I need to leave right now.
Without a doubt, especially knowing that that first Titan is so important because it gives it that extra damage shield. So it's very important that teams play this early game to their favor to try and hopefully build up a great deal of momentum that they can carry onwards into the mid stages of the game.
It does look like First Titan will be going over to the red team, however. Unless they manage to kill this Fallen Hero before they kill 5 minions. There it is, red team, right. First Titan.
And right behind them. Actually at 1 point ahead now.
Wow, that was a risky recall by XCal.
Yeah, man, he's a confident guy. What can I say? So now we've got a Kinetic and an Ardent coming down on one another. This Kinetic is going to have the damage advantage on the Ardent, not to mention the 10k damage shield on top of the 15% extra damage that he's going to be doing. Looks like 4 members of red team's already going to be stacking up here. Start barreling or start nuking down this Ardent.
Well, it's important to help your Titan. Like, granted, Blue Titan did have 10k shields, but remember, like, they're just burning down the Blue Titan's health instantly. So it may have had that shield, but it's entirely worthless if you're not helping your Titan.
Right, buddy, right. Both teams just going back and forth on each other's Titans. A little bit of skirmish going up in the top side here. There's that Death Knight at work, just not dying, period. Probably isn't even going to have to switch here. Does pop the heal on himself. He's going to be in this fight for a little while. She winds up popping that 5-minute passive on him. They're just going to walk away. Coming back to the mid, though.
I believe that's a 10-minute passive on Death Knight, actually.
Oh, all right, 10-minute.
But while all that chaos was going on mid lane and top, Blue team was managed to take bot tower. Lilu doing her thing with the Talon Swarm, hitting the tower with autos and Talon Swarm.
Yeah, that is something that side of Seraphim is going to have to watch out for. They are possibly going to have to send one of their members over to deal with that if the Lilu continues to decide to. But you got to remember, this Lilu doing this and taking down these, you know, uncontested towers might be opening up the map for them. But once again, it's giving them, or the enemy team, those Titan shards. So you got to be sure that, you know, that's what your team is willing, to do.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure, like, are we able to give them all these Titan shards this early? Is it a smart idea to do it? Granted, yes, you want the points for killing towers, you want to open up the map, but sometimes that can really come back to bite you, because it gives them the option to force other objectives. Now, look here, like, while this team fight's going on mid, you have blue Vonak, the blue team's Vonak No on King Tanian right now. He's already got it to almost 50%. Is that, what is it, 70% right now?
Yeah, and red team has no wards with this covered. And it doesn't look like it does look like they have a sitch on it, but I don't know if they're too confident about approaching it. Blue team's been poking them down very well. They are going to go in here. He's going to get low. We're going to see what this gets. Blue team winds up getting it with the Vonak Lilu combo. Now,
that was actually
down the shock blade.
Great Maya ult on the Vonak.
But on the backside, Malachi throws down the bullet rain just to prolong the inevitability of his doom. He does go down. They're still going to continue chasing. Rilak pops the long-range ultimate. Does get one hit off on the Excal, but he's going to swap over to stop that burn from taking him down. And overall, it's going to be a huge pickup for blue team. Now they're
going to take this fallen hero. They're going to take this top tower. And they're going to get some nice damage onto that mortar tower as well. That was a very, very good play and a very good advantage for Wandering Potatoes. They're up considerable amount of points. Atelier is doing as much as he can to get that bottom fallen hero, but it's not going to be as fast as Wandering Potatoes is able to take this tower almost instantly. Actually, they did take that first tower.
Up in the top lane, it's a 2v4 situation. They wound up straying from their fallen hero here. Now they don't have that passive heal they'd be coming out from. Looks like they're going to be forced to back away here. Shield should come out from red team. There shouldn't be much damage that goes onto this wall tower. That should be a free 12 points over to side of Seraphim. But all that's happening in the top side, 4 members were pulled off, so that means the Titan and 2 members of blue side were able to push down the inner mid. Looks like they're going to be rotating over to get what damage they can onto this bottom inner wall. They do have to be careful here. They don't want to overstep. If they fall here, the death timers might just be large enough for red team to take down Rosart. Cream Puff in a bad situation, but he is on Lilu. He's going to be able to jump out of that. And the Maya. That's why I love to see these picks. Maya's going to be able to get them out nice and safe. Down in the bot. Atelier stepping forward. Getting a little too confident. Going up against 4 members of the blue team. He's going to go down. Was able to get a little bit of damage with that fallen hero onto their bottom outer. And now it looks like things are more than likely going to reset. Teams are going to go back after they push the waves to their satisfaction, spin their attributes, and go from there. Now, Chosen One getting a little feisty in this mid. No, he's going to back off here. Go back to the kinetic Titan. One thing red team has to be careful of, they are going to be able to get this now on blue side. They do have to be careful of the engage here from blue. X-Scout forced to swap right away. He's more than likely moving down. Jumped on by 3. He drops. Def now in trouble. He's going to be able to swap though. Good thing he's on Jing Tai. He's going to be hopping out. Members of the team coming up to support him. They're going to strategically peel off here. This is great for blue side. Blue side has some amazing momentum to push with here. They've got a full health Ardent. They've got heals to keep their health up. They can choose to go for Rozark here if they like. And
I don't know if you noticed that, Devil. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that was a really, really good use of Suzuka's ult from Atelier. He used it to avoid the Titan's knockup and damage to actually save himself from dying in that situation, because if he had not had the ultimate, he was going down right then and there.
Quick fingers on the side of Seraphim here. Doesn't look like blue team's gonna do anything but kind of seize control what they can in the map. Queen Puff here overstepped a little bit as his team was already gone. Thought he could get a little more damage onto this red wall tower, but
point capture.
That's not the case. So Wandering Potatoes is just going to establish vision control across the map. Saw Vonak take their red buff. It looks like red team somehow had a suspicion that they were doing that, so they're going to do the same in return to their jungle. It looks like things are going to be a little quiet for a minute or two. As Rozark is still up, red team does have it warded. Good on their part. Tanian coming up in 30 seconds. Top altar coming up in 25. So objectives will be spawning and there will be things to look forward or look to for each of the teams. Now I feel it's just about pushing the minion waves, racking up the little bit of points that you can while we wait.
Blue team actually doesn't have vision on Rozark either, which you'd think they would have because their enemy team does have a Vonak, but they just decided that it's not worth warding it apparently.
And this bottom side, once again, blue team continuing to stray from one another, trying to get damage on this inner wall. I feel like they're putting way too much priority on it, but good news for them, as No was distracting in the bottom lane, blue team was capitalizing with King Tanian in the top. But like I'm saying, no teleport needed to get there in time. They are going to have a chance to steal this. Lulu does have her Talon Swarm on top of it here. We'll see what the focus is. Tanian starting to drop low. The swing from Deft, I believe, on the Cagnazo takes Tanian for red side. And winds up dropping 3 members in the process.
That was a really big win for red team, actually. Because they got the Tanian, they got the team wipe, and they're going to get the fallen hero. Well, not so much team wipe, but they got 3 members of Wandering Potatoes. So they're going to get this fallen hero. Hopefully they get some damage done on this tower and they don't just abandon it and give him a free 12 points.
Once again, it's a reflection of the momentum that blue team had. There's a full health Titan pushing down the mid for Seraphim. They have a fallen hero in the top lane, forcing blue team to pop their Titan shields.
This fallen hero is getting burned down very quickly.
Oh yes, that Vonak, Lilu, Chromede going to work. Also the Urn on the back line. Looks like blue side is going to try and catch these guys out, but Deft and Malachi is going to realize that's... Oh, no, they are going to decide to go back in. Make me eat my words. Bullerang comes out for both people. Swords and maces and guns and everything being flown left, right, and center. No, going to be dropped here. That all, or his passive, 10 minutes, still not up. So 1-0 going over to the side of Seraphim. Still keeping that momentum. Bad news is they did lose a little bit of it while they got that kill. Blue side was able to knocked down the Helix Titan that was pushing in their favor. Now they've got to fend off this kinetic in return.
Excal's gonna actually get the top lane outer turret, and now both teams are actually equal in the amount of charge they have.
Both still do have a Titan incarnate. They're being very selective on when to pop it. Chosen One gets absolutely nuked by Altelier's ult. Red team though manages to pick up 1 kill. They do have to back. Take care of this.
They have to deal with the blue Titan because he does do a lot of damage to structures. Look at that. He just did almost what? 3,000 damage on that tower? That's insane.
That's the only tower shit that they have too, but good news is blue team's not here to try and zone them off, so he's gonna go down nice and quick. It's gonna be another Titan shard in the back pocket of theirs. Meanwhile, fallen altar hero down bottom, being put to use by Wandering Potatoes. Malachi.
Light is in a bit of trouble right here. There he is. He's going down. Atelier secures the kill.
Okay, thought I disconnected here for a second, but nope, we're good. Yeah. Light winds up going down. Yeah, blue team has been dropping left, right, and center. I think they need to realize that team fight might not be their strongest, you know, path right now, and look towards possibly split pushing or doing as they did before and just having somebody distract off in the side lane while they take a primary objective somewhere else in the map.
You're right, because look at their point lead now. It's dwindled from what it was maybe 5 minutes ago. It's only a 17-point lead now. So this game is incredibly winnable for red team.
Oh, without a doubt, it's still definitely winnable for the blue team. It's just the momentum that they've been giving red team by constantly finding themselves like so, you know, in their base with a gray screen and a timer. You know, it's not, they're not doing themselves justice by.
The Chosen One's gonna go down here. That was a big Jinso Young ult from Excal actually. It was huge. He was able to stun 2 people, secure the tower, which is what he just did right now.
Alright, they're just rolling through here. Nono actually winds up picking up a kill here. Light as helping him do so, but he's still gonna wind up going down. That's 4 players on the side of blue team going down. Light doing what he can to try and fend them off. Good news for blue is that Titan has just spawned in their base. Light is gonna drop a kill down there and force the rest of Seraphim off. Relieves a little bit of pressure from them for the time being.
Light's doing everything he can to try to get this Titan shard from them. And it looks like he might just get it.
Yeah, he might be able to do it, but no, Malachi is going to come over and safely escort his teammate out as Tux Ranger tries to flank, but decides that's not the best idea and lets them get away unscathed. That's going to be 2 Titan incarnates now on the side of Seraphim. And they're not too far from a Titan themselves, 491, only 9 away. Blue team's going to decide to go ahead and push with this, more than likely focus the bot or bottom. I mean, bottom's basically dead. You just kind of got to, yeah, give it 1 or 2 autos like Power Ryan just did. It's now down. They're more than likely going to go to the top here, focus that one down, and then possibly make a play for the end in mid lane. That's not
may go down here if they'd CC lock him, but they didn't. So blue team should be able to walk out of this scot-free if they don't overstay.
Blue team does need to make that decision. Do they want to stay or do they want to go for something else? They need to make it now. They cannot happy feet around here. They have to have a clear plan. It looks like they do. Cream Puff does pop that Titan incarnate. Titan incarnate, of course, coming out from the enemy team. Altair being the one to pick that up. Does get a kill on the Tux Ranger. Cream Puff, though, getting a kill on the Junshi. Here comes the Kinetic Titan from red side. There's just going to be fist catching hands left, right, and center from these Titan incarnates. Blue team, 2 members going to fall. 2 members also of red side. Blue team's gonna say that's enough. They're
Well,
gonna
I
head
won't
back.
knock the decision to actually get and use the Titan Incarnate like they did. Some of their team left very early as soon as Red Team popped their Titan Incarnate. What I would have liked to have seen from Blue Team was focusing down Red Team's Incarnate while their Incarnate was destroying and doing as much damage to Red Team as possible. They could have capitalized more on that, but it worked out in their favor still. So both teams still have Incarnates.
That expectation that there are going to be some hesitant calls going on in the comms chat. Personally, I would have liked to have seen them go for one of the more bigger objectives, such as Rosark or Tannian, which I believe spawned a little bit before they wound up engaging that last fight. Now Red Team momentum swings back onto their side as Def goes in. Am I lagging? Alright, we're back. Still pushing down this mid. Nobody falls just yet.
So Red Team's able to force Blue Team back and pick up King Tannian. So they forced them back in a 4v5 situation and picked up King Tannian. But huge ether spikes from Cream Puff actually getting a lot of damage out on the Red Team, forcing them back while they kill the Kinetic Titan to secure the Titan Shard.
Right. Red Team yet again has another full health Titan pushing down mid. Unfortunately, they're going to have to back, so they're not really going to be able to capitalize off this opportunity, leaving Blue Team to potentially just safely take down this Titan of Seraphim. Looks like Tux Range is going to go in there and get a ward on the Rosark. Really surprised we haven't seen a Rosark. Only 3 minutes left into this game. Point lead going over to the side of Wandering Potatoes, and it's only going to grow with the falling of this Helix Demazier.
Well, remember, it is the first Rosark. Rosark hasn't been killed yet, so he's still sitting at a base health of about 44k. So he's not as much of a we need to do it right now type deal. You can send 2 people in there to sneak it or win a team fight and do it because of how easily he's killed right now.
Right, both sides still have Incarnates, 1 extra on the side of Seraphim, waiting to see these get used again. Looks like Red Team's going to do what they can to try and zone Blue Team off and make sure they get this Titan Shard. Def going to go in on Light, force the switch, but that's a low health Rylok. He's going to go down. Blue Team doing what they can to try and keep Red off of this wall tower. But there's only so many people they can focus their attention to at one time. Excal actually getting the shrapnel snipe on to Tux Ranger. Not expecting that, so no swap came out of him. No almost going down, saved by the Maya just about. Actually, I think he was saved by the Maya, given the shield and then out of range.
2 minutes left in the game. Here comes the Titan Incarnate play. They realize they have 2 Incarnates to their 1. Well, I don't think they understand that the other team has 1, but they realize they have 2 Incarnates. They need to do something because the time limit is going to hit them, and they will lose if they have less points.
Something they are doing. They're able... No over here, all alone. Not getting nuked down, though. Actually surviving. Pushing Red Team off here. There's a lot of back and forth. Red Team is going to say, no, this don't feel right.
That was it was questionable for both Incarnates. No stayed on the hammer form a little bit too long. He popped the shield for his towers, which is very good, but he didn't do much with the Incarnate after that. Look at the score now. It's 680 to 74. It's still anyone's game.
With 1 minute left, and the score is barely 10 points apart. People are going to be scrambling for these minions.
Got Cream Puff heading into Rosark right now. He was just checking it, I believe, and he's out. Yeah.
This is where these altar watches become extremely important because those 4 points are going to be critical.
45 seconds left.
Of the game. People are going to start getting desperate. Red Team's more than likely to try and secure kills here. They're going to pop their last Titan Incarnate. 30 seconds left to go. It's going to see if he's able to
game for them.
charge in and getting the last-minute kills, but it's looking grim. Starts on the Tux Ranger here. He is going to wind up getting him, but I don't think that's enough. 22 seconds left. Blue team has scrambled. Nowhere to be found by red. And
oh man, it's a 5-point difference if they can get this minion wave. But there are no minions for them to get.
5 on the clock. The difference is still barely 10. And it does wind up going over to Wandering Potatoes. He's going to be grabbing that first seed in Group C.
What a close game.
Absolutely. I had a feeling that this was going to go a lot longer. I didn't think it was going to go to 25. I thought, you know, there was a moment where Seraphim had that open core, so I did expect blue team to continue that momentum that they had beforehand and wind up knocking it down, you know, about 5 minutes prior to where we are now. But yeah, extremely close game. You can see exact same amount of Titans on both teams wind up coming out here. Go over to the battle log and look at the damage dealt. Atelier on this Suzuki Yerna winds up smoking everybody with almost 110k damage on the board, evenly split between the two masters at that.
He also had 77 kill participation for his team. He was involved in almost every single fight and managed to walk away with at least 1 kill every single time.
Absolutely putting in work, putting his team on his back and saying, we're going into week 2 on our high horses with as much momentum as we possibly can. Shows up big and just takes that W, man. Absolutely great on them. I didn't see as much as I'd like to see out of the Maya or the Death Knight. Did get to see a little bit of skirmish and 1 or 2 saves from Maya, showing that they are, or they can be very valuable when used correctly. You know, as far as team play went, both teams stuck together relatively well. Blue side was sort of tripping up a little early. It was, you know, sending overconfident members to that bottom side, try and get that wall tower, which every time they did, they wound up giving a kill over the red side, which is never good, but they wound up recovering from that, composing themselves and keeping the game stable and in their favor right until the very end, where they win by barely, well, I think it was 7 points maybe?
I think it was 5 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I can't exactly remember the score. I know it's just a few moments ago, but it just goes to show how my memory is sometimes. It was a very close game, and it was pretty nice to watch. Those games are the games that those type of games are my favorites. They're not one-sided. They're very close all the way to the end. It's anybody's game. So that was really, really nice to watch.
Absolutely. Once again, just happy to see new players who are wanting to compete competitively. You know, it's beautiful to see and learn from a lot of these new teams, and you know, players have their own sort of out of the box, you know, thoughts towards how to succeed. And we saw a little bit of that there with the Death Knight and the Maya, which I'm always personally a huge fan of. But we're going to go and throw this over the break. When we do come back, it's going to be Group D. For Group D, we're going to have Masters of Battle going up against Team Tato. Team Tato is definitely a team that you're going to want to see play. Oh, yeah. We'll be right back.